Hey everyone, just wanted to show a quick video of an area that the cows are going into tomorrow. You can see they're kind of at the gate there, so I'm setting up tomorrow's move. But this is an area that just keeps getting better and better every day I come down here, and I know the sun's kind of intense right now. I hope that the camera can pick it up, but just super lush with clover. You can see where I've been stepping. Like, I've had to walk through this a few times to set up cross fences, and I hate doing it because I'm smashing it down. But just super lush with clover, white clover especially, which you may or may not know, white clover can definitely cause bloat. It froths in the rumen a lot more than like red clover will, so a higher risk of bloat. But I have never had a problem with bloat out here, and it's because I think, from what I understand, it's just because we have a good mix of grass. And you can see this orchard grass here was grazed, we're probably going on 25 days ago. So I'm not worried about the white clover. We also have some big red clover. You can kind of see it through there. It hasn't put out any of the seed heads yet, but nice big clover leaves. But I wanted to film this because this was an area that got probably the most hay fed on it this winter. And that's because it's not too far from the gate. I spent the entire winter working my way around this whole pasture as much as I could. I really focused on this, I'd say this, we'll call it this north half of the pasture, because it was fairly poor to do last year. The drought really sucked, and we got really bad outbreak of thistles over there. So I thought if I just beat the hell out of it with animal impact and hay, that would help. But this area, and I know it gets more shade because it gets shade, in the morning from these trees along the two fence lines here. So it definitely does hold moisture later into the day. I'm sure that has something to do with it. But yeah, this got probably just as much hay fed on it, and that's because the days that I work 24-hour shifts, if I wanted to do twice a day feeding, which is what I was trying to do, because again, during the grazing season, they're getting moved twice a day. During the dormant season, during winter, when I would feed small squares, I would actually feed twice a day just to keep them in that routine. But if I was doing the twice a day feeding, or if we ended up getting some weather rolling in, or it ended up being colder than I expected, or whatever, I would have, either my parents, which live right next door, or my fiance, she would toss a bale. So they'd come down, they'd get through the gate, they'd get out of here a little bit, because this area around the gate was pretty beat up. The cows were always kind of hanging out, waiting for food and stuff like that. So they'd travel about this far, and then they would toss the hay down. And this was actually the last area this spring to really start to put on some grass growth, because it was so thick with old hay. So obviously they stomp a lot of hay into the ground during the winter time. They don't eat all of it, and they lay on it, and they defecate on it, and they urinate on it. So this area right along here just kept getting more and more hay put on it, and I was almost actually worried a little bit coming into this spring, because like I said, it was the last place to really get grass popping through that dense carpet of old hay. But dude, it's exploded. It looks awesome. Like I said, it's so thick. Like when I reach my hand down in there, I can't even see my hand. It gets lost, especially in that clover. So, feeding hay in target areas where you really want some good improvement, I'm a big believer. I've been doing that throughout the pastures every year, and this was just kind of a happy accident that we really focused one area that they were going to continue getting feed, and it just, man, it's rocking. So as much as I want to spread hay out throughout the pastures every winter, I think this winter I'm going to try a new tactic and really pick poor to do spots. And I know there's two schools of thought when it comes to trying to improve your pastures. One school of thought is let's attack the poor areas, right? Let's put the animals on the poor areas. Let's feed hay on it. Let's focus the impact and the manure and the urine and all that on these poor areas to help it out. But that's only going to make so much of a difference each year. yes, it's going to help, but it's only going to make so much of a difference. A lot of expert grazers say, nope, focus on your best areas first. Make those best areas even better, because that's going to help, you know, carry you through the year. And this stuff definitely is. Like I said, we're less than 25 days rest on this, and it looks like, you know, first spring graze. So I'm pumped. So yeah, as much as I want to spread the hay out this year, I'm going to have to decide, am I going to find a poor to-do area and just hammer it with hay the same place throughout the winter? Or, you know, am I going to pick this really well-to-do area, maybe branch out a little bit and really focus on feeding hay here? So let me know what you guys think below. You know, if you use that tactic of feeding hay in target areas, are you targeting poor areas, or are you targeting good areas during your grazing season? Thanks, guys.